Hello and welcome to Broadcast Hub. Today we're going to be talking about the awesome Blackmagic Cinema cameras. And for those of you who don't know much about them, we have our expert Molly to explain some of the information and details about these cameras so you can decide which one fits your needs. Molly, let's tell the viewers some info about these cameras.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kareem. Basically, what we have here represents more or less what the camera collection for the cinema cameras that Blackmagic has, and also a studio camera, which you can see on the end there. And basically, the lineup consists of a pocket cinema camera 4K, and then the next one up will be the pocket cinema camera 6K, and then a little bit upgraded model of the 6K, which is the pocket cinema camera 6K Pro. And then from there, you go up to a different lineup, which is the Ursa family of cameras. And you have the Blackmagic Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K G2 in this case. And then you have a Ursa Mini Pro 12K camera. And then that over there represents the studio camera lineup.
The big boy.
Yes, the big boy, yes.
Cool.
And that is a bit different from these in the sense that it really belongs mostly in a studio. You don't really take that and carry it around.
Okay.
But for a studio use, it's been built very well because it's got a huge display at the back, and it's got a big tally light in case people want to see which camera is live. And also, it has very low light capabilities. And that is a newer model that came out maybe only 3 months ago. So there is one which is called the Studio Camera 4K Plus, and another one that's called the Studio Camera 4K Pro.
Okay.
And the main difference between the two is that they have the same resolution, which is 4K, and they use the same lenses, but one of them has more pro features like Ethernet, tally, it's got SDI and HDMI, etc. This one has only HDMI.
So all of these cameras, they use Sony or Canon EF mount lenses?
Some are different.
Okay.
So for example, the 4K uses a micro four thirds mount, and you can use like Lumix or Olympus lenses for that, which are common. We also have Rokinon lenses that are also micro four thirds, but the mount is micro four thirds.
Okay.
And then when it comes to the 6K and the 6K Pro, it is EF mounts, which are Canon mounts. And the G2 does ship with an EF mount, but you can change mounts to whatever you need. In fact, you can see even here, there's an image here that shows all the different mounts that you can get, including
Wow.
PL mount, B4 mount, etc. There's one camera that is actually not seen in the lineup here, which is the Ursa broadcast camera. It's essentially the same as the Ursa, but it uses a different B4 mount, and
Okay.
it's meant for broadcasting purposes.
Wow.
So that's the only one that you don't see here, and including the Studio Camera 4K Pro.
And that one we sold in the showroom?
Yes.
Okay.
We actually out of stock at the moment, but
Okay.
we had it in stock.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Which camera, if one of the viewers wanted to take one of these Blackmagic cameras and go vlogging, which one would you suggest? Or making a short film out on the run, which one is the best, 4K or 6K?
It depends on who you're going to be delivering the project to. If you're delivering the project to somebody who doesn't need more than 4K, then the 4K will do just fine.
Right.
But for some reason they need more than 4K, then you would have to go for the 6K and so on. Like
Right.
the reason why they made the 12K is, although really people don't really use 12K that much, but you can deliver a project in 8K.
Right, okay.
Because it's got the capability of doing that, while the Ursa 4.6K ends at 4.6K. It
Right.
cannot deliver anything more than that. So
Right.
it depends a lot on who you're going to be delivering the job to, but most jobs these days don't need to exceed 4K anymore.
Yeah, most of them don't anyway.
Yeah.
4K is like a kind of standard now for,
Yes.
exceptional video quality.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So let me ask you another question. With the 6K camera, can you record in 4K or is it only at 6?
You can select all the way down to HD.
Wow.
So you can either record in 4K or 6K or HD and few others in between.
Right.
Yeah. And similar for almost all the cameras.
Okay.
The 12K is a little bit more limited. It has some specific like 12, 8, 4. It's not that many in between.
Right.
But all of these other ones you can do HD and you can do 4K and in this case 8K and so on.
So now let's talk about memory. What type of memory cards or SSDs do these accept and use?
That's right. Typically, almost all from here all the way here, they all have CFast and SD cards.
Okay.
Both on board. and you can also record to an SSD drive.
Wow.
So you can record to like a Samsung T5 drive, but that we don't recommend for high throughput. Like if you're recording 6K, we recommend Angelbird or higher throughput drives.
So why not Samsung?
The Samsung itself, the T5, although they rated it at something like maybe 400 megabits per second, but when it comes to 6K RAW, we've noticed that it has a problem. When it comes to 6K ProRes, it can handle it.
Okay.
But RAW, it tends to drop frames, so we tend to go for the higher rated Angelbird.
Angelbird. So Angelbird, you won't catch that dropping frames at any point with RAW or anything like that.
That's right. That's right.
Cool. Okay.
So, and then the studio camera can also record onto an SSD drive if you want, or it can record offline onto a hyperdeck drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, if you, Molly, were to choose one camera that you could only have just one, what would it be?
Well, if you're talking about sort of budget-conscious camera, it'll either be the 6K or the 6K Pro. If you're talking about budget is not a problem, then I would say the 12K will be the best.
Yeah.
Because then by the way, these two cameras are fully certified for Netflix.
Wow.
Meaning the Ursa. The Ursa line is fully certified for Netflix. It's on the Netflix list.
So if all you filmmakers want to get a movie out there on Netflix, come to Broadcast Hub. We have something that can help you out.
That's right. And if you want something a little bit more compact, but it can still be very powerful, it'll be one of these. It'll be the 6K Pro or the 6K. The big difference between these two are it's got the same sensor, it's got the same lenses. They just added a few more features to the 6K Pro, like for example, a flip-out monitor. So if you want to shoot low, you can flip it. The other thing is there's an EVF that you can put on the top if you want to view it, through the EVF. And also it's got built-in ND filters. So on the 6K Pro, you would have to put a filter either in a matte box or you'd have to put it on a variable filter on the lens. But here it's built in.
That's very nice.
Yeah, those are the few key things that they changed between these two.
Now, you said it's built in, but is it interchangeable?
It's basically ND filters up to 6 stops, which are built in. So you press the button, and inside it'll move it.
Oh, wow.
It's inside the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to carry around ND filters.
Okay.
Yeah, up to that number of stops.
So now, let me ask you this. What is the benefit of using a Blackmagic camera versus a camera like Sony or Canon? What do you think are the pros?
Good point. One of the things that Blackmagic does very well is color science and color correction. And every camera you buy here comes with DaVinci Resolve as part of it. And DaVinci Resolve is an editing software, but also it's a color correction software, which is very powerful. It's so powerful that they used it to do the color correction on what is that movie?
I believe it was Avatar, right?
Avatar. Yeah,
Avatar.
imagine now. You can imagine.
That's incredible.
Yes, if they've done color correction on DaVinci Resolve on Avatar, then obviously it speaks for itself.
But
that comes with all of these cameras in the box.
So you're saying the software comes with this camera?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, DaVinci Resolve comes with any of these cameras if you buy them.
Right, and just to be clear, for those of you who may not know, it's not a software that you can use in camera, but it's a software you use on the computer once you're done recording, correct?
Yes.
Cool.
That's right.
Okay.
And you can also, it is also a nonlinear video editor and a color correction software. And it has Fusion as well, which is an effects software.
Wow.
Yeah, so you get all that when you buy the camera.
Wow, that's incredible.
So
that
that's
sounds
one
like a really
big
good
advantage
deal.
already.
Yeah.
And of course, because you have the ability to record in RAW, you can then do any kind of correction you need after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you were able to show some of the viewers the differences between these Blackmagic Cinema cameras and explain the pros and cons between them and just all the features. Once again, thank you so much. And we want to thank you to the viewers for watching our video about Blackmagic cameras. Once again, we're at Broadcast Hub in Phipps Plaza, so if you guys have any questions or concerns, or if you even need help setting up your rig, we'd love to help you troubleshoot anything. Come visit our showroom today. Once again, we're out. Take care.
Thank you.